gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. When you get knocked down, you gotta get back up.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jake and Cole here for the Unqualified MMA podcast. We're here with a special guest, Mark Beecher, one of the best Muay Thai coaches in the world, worked with some of the best fighters in the world. Mark, thanks for coming on, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Why unqualified?
We don't know anything.
But you guys train though, right?
Yes, sir.
So then you're qualified.
No, So, let's get in a little bit about your background. Like, how long you've been involved in Muay Thai and training fighters?
It's gonna give away my age. No, like 25 years. I'm fighting and training people probably. Maybe 19 years, 20 years, something like that.
So, what got you to want to start fighting?
The UFC #2. So I saw UFC #2 just in passing, on one of those hype shows or whatever. And I was like, what are they doing? And where Gerard Gordeau, I think it was Gerard Gordeau, I don't know, he kicked the dude and his tooth came flying out.
And
I'm like, what? Yeah, it was Gerard Gordeau, right?
Yeah.
So I watched that and then I started looking at it and getting into it. And I'm like, what is this? Well, it's real. I did, I don't know what I did, some kind of karate when I was a kid. And I got thrown out of there because I punched somebody. And I was like, isn't that what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
But no, so I never trained again. And then when I saw that, I was like, I want to do this one day or something. And I moved to Oklahoma City, chasing a girl. And then I met Rafael Lovato, senior, and that's when I started training.
Yeah. So, why Muay Thai and not boxing or jiu-jitsu just by itself? What led you to fight Muay Thai?
When I started, I did jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Rafael Lovato Sr. taught us both. We did both. We had to know what to do standing up and know what to do on the ground. They're the first father and son American black belts, by the way, too. But so here's what happened with my I wanted to do jiu-jitsu tournaments. I wanted to fight MMA. I did MMA first. I fought Muay Thai too, though. But I wanted to fight MMA way back when we made $0 fighting MMA. You know what I mean? So it seemed we were always going to Los Angeles because that's where when Brazilians first came here, they wanted to stay by the water. So all the Brazilians were in California or somewhere that had a beach, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm going to move to California. My brother lived there, and I moved to California. I went to train, and they were like, Brazilians, go train. They didn't show us anything, So I found a place that I was like, man, I want to fight. And his Boxing Works with Brian Popejoy, best coach, my coach. And he said, well, let's see what you got. And we moved around a little bit, and it was terrible. And he was like, I think you can do it. So I started training Muay Thai, and I stopped doing jiu-jitsu. That's how that happened. Wow, crazy.
So how long were you fighting yourself before you started getting into coaching?
5 years, 6 years. So when getting into coaching, I didn't know if I could coach or not, someone called me from Vegas and told me that they needed a Muay Thai coach. And I was like, I don't know if I can coach or not. I don't know if I'm good at that. And I went out there and visited, and I said, look, I'll go check it out, and I'll see if I think I could help, and if I can't help, I'm not going to do it. But if I think I can help, then okay. And then when I went to Vegas, I was like, I think we can help these guys. And that's when I started coaching. Crazy,
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So the real question is which do you prefer, fighting or coaching?
Well, see, the thing is, the reason that I started coaching was so I could fight. I worked construction. I worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I trained and I fought, and it sucked, And I don't recommend anybody to do that, but I wanted to do it, so I did it, But the truth is, I'm a way better coach than I ever was a fighter, That's the truth. Yeah. My guys are way better than me and way better than I ever could have been. And I think some of the reason is because I did everything wrong. So I'm like, no, you're not going to do what I did. You have to do this shit right. You know what I mean? That's
No, I mean, whenever I'd seen that you'd work with Forrest Griffin, I kind of fangirled out.
Yeah.
Because he's probably the reason I'm a fighter now.
Yeah.
I saw The Ultimate Fighter 1 when I was like 7 years old.
Man. Don't even say 7 years old. Damn, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like 7 now. No, you know, I got in trouble a lot. I was on season 7 with Forrest as his coach, you know. I got in trouble a lot because I would say stuff and they were like, have you even watched this show? And I don't think I have, you know what I mean? I think I watched it a couple times. But there was a couple seasons that I knew who was going to win, that I called who was going to win. But yeah, I went there and Forrest was one of my guys. He didn't listen for a long time until there was one fight where everything we had worked like just started working, and then he listened after.
I mean, just being a striking coach, watching that Rampage Jackson fight again, the leg kicks. I mean, that changed the game.
Yeah.
It changed the fight. It was a beautiful performance. I mean, he picked him apart. I mean, it's not like he wasn't facing adversity. Rampage is a scary, scary man.
Yeah, man. But, you know, a lot of people will say that leg kicks don't stop fights. Well, they do, but it does a lot more things than that. One, we do that. Rampage had a good hard right uppercut. Goes in, he hits it, and you get knocked out. Forrest doesn't have the best chin in the world. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. So I had to take some power off of that thing. You can't put weight on that front leg. You can't throw a good hard uppercut.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Plus, I like leg kicks anyway. It's part of my game plan.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Anyone who sparred with me knows I love leg kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, you land 3 or 4 good ones in a round, that changes the fight.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, it takes the power away. And I like to move a lot when I fight. And so, if they can't follow me,
That's right.
I win.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, Jake's never been that fast, so his trick is just make everyone else slow.
Me either.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. So like you've worked with countless fighters in the UFC and just high level fighters in general. I mean, who do you think has been the most receptive to your style and of teaching?
I mean, most everybody's receptive. Not everybody. There's few and far between that are not receptive. But most people want to train with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that, well, I'm working at this gym and that's where I train, so I'm going to train there. Like in Vegas back then anyways, it was, I train here for striking, I train here for jiu-jitsu, I train here for wrestling. And you pick where you like, you know? So most people are receptive. Not everyone, but everyone who's been receptive has done really well, luckily, you know? Maybe not luckily, maybe you know.
So working with guys like Matt Brown, who's just a savage.
My dude.
I mean, he's to me like he's the embodiment of a fighter.
Oh yeah.
That guy's a warrior. I mean, what's it like training with a guy like that? And like, how do you handle that kind of crazy and intensity?
I mean, that's Matt Brown, you know. There's a picture I have somewhere of his elbow on my face, and I'm holding pads. I'm like, why are you elbowing me in the face, dude? What the fuck, man? But I mean, I was a fighter too, and he used to love sparring. I love sparring with you, and I'm like, I love sparring with you, man. You hit hard. He hits really hard, you know. But I just have fun. I like to learn, you know, and I learn from these guys that are good, and all I do to a lot of these guys, I take what they already have, sharpen it up, you know. So that's my job. Is I'm not going to show you how to throw a jab. I'm going to make your jab better, you know? And I show them some stuff that they don't know, but mostly it's just sharpening the tools they already have. You know?
So just around here in Houston, we've got a lot of high-level fighters. And I know you're working with them in here, and everyone in this area definitely respects your gym. And striking-wise, I mean, it's obviously one of the top in the state. There's been a lot of issues getting Muay Thai in Texas. How do you think we do that?
I don't know. We've been petitioning the Texas athletic commission for a year and a half. They just have these weird laws where it's like we want to, the way you start building this is you do little shows, you know. In Vegas is a fight town. So this is how they do it. You call the commission, you say you're having a show, a smoker, which are different in Vegas than they are here. A smoker in Vegas is there's judges and there's a winner and it's 100% fight. People get knocked out. So you call the commission, you tell them, you know, you're going to do a smoker. You pay a fee, it's like $100 or something. They send a commissioner out there to make sure that you have, you know, the paramedic and everything's on the up and up. Yeah, fight. To do it in Texas, you have to have, I don't know what everything you have to have is, but you have to have a promoter's license, which you have to have $20,000 to get a promoter's license. And then you have to have so many bouts on the card. And then you have to have so many pro bouts, and you have to pay this much, and then so it's going to end up costing you $40,000 to throw smoker. Like, and it's like we're not going to make but $1,000, and you want us to spend $40,000. So no one's ever going to do it. And the athletic commission is just like, all right, they don't care. It's weird to me because the amount of revenue I think that they could make off of Muay Thai or MMA or whatever. Besides boxing, just off of little shows, and then have some bigger ones pop up because the little shows will grow with bigger ones, would be crazy. They don't want to do it.
No, and we've seen promotions like Lion Fight come and go now. I mean, since they left Access TV, I haven't been able to find them.
Well, they were supposed to do a show here. I forget when it was, but they were going to do a show here in Houston. And now with all this, this stuff happening.
No, I mean, it is a crazy time right now, and you know, that leads us down like the conspiracy rabbit hole. So, you know, what's your favorite one to dive into right now? Like, which one do you think is most plausible?
Okay, so here's the thing. I went into some conspiracy theory rabbit holes, and the thing about that is they all make sense, dude. Like, at first you're like, shut up, there's no way. And then you start reading into it and you're like, yeah, that could really happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. The 5G one is pretty silly, you know. But again, it's plausible. You know what I'm saying? It could happen.
I don't know that one. What's 5G?
So the 5G is what's causing all of this. They're building 5G networks. So, you know, 4G on your phones, they're building 5G networks. And it's causing all this shit to happen around the world. That is putting off so much radiation, and you'll go into a rabbit hole if you look into it, man. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. There's so many different theories about that, and I don't know, but it's pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite, it's got to be the biological weapon.
Yeah, I mean, but again, plausible, yes.
Yeah. I mean, and the more you look into it, and you know, you see that like they were doing coronavirus experiments in Wuhan, and then they were selling the animals out the back door potentially. And then,
but coronavirus was around before this.
Yeah.
Because it's on my Clorox wipes, kills coronavirus, that I got 5 months ago. You know what I mean? So it was around before this. It's just what I really, really and truly believe is this year's strain of the flu. And if everybody says, it's not like the flu, it's different. Well, it is different. But this year, this is this year's strain. It could screw my whole business. Really and truly, it could shut me down.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing gyms everywhere struggling, and it sucks. Like,
how are you dealing with it?
There's nothing I can do. I can do. I can't open, you know. I want to open. I did a video about social distancing in the gym, if they want to do it like that, where I could have, you know, about 9 or 10 people in this gym, 10 feet apart each. But there's nothing I can do, man. And if people quit the gym, what can I do? Well, no, you owe me, you signed a contract. No, we lost our job. We're not working. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, just let them go. You know?
Yeah. So, Cole, what do you think in conspiracy wise right now?
Nothing too current. The only one that like I can say like I can look through the evidence and like feel like I still respect myself for believing it is like moon landing.
Ooh.
I can talk myself into saying we didn't go.
Oh, you haven't heard the moon landing?
No, what is that one?
Oh, just saying that we never went to the moon?
Oh, yeah. But we're talking about this virus, this conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. As far as the actual virus, I don't think there's any conspiracy theories that like I fully believe.
No, you haven't looked into them because they're all like believable.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit, that's believable.
No, my man here's a scientist.
Oh, all right.
So in college, what's your major now?
I'm natural sciences, just like vaguely pre-med.
Yeah. That's what I thought. No, it's just a weird time. Like, it's driving me crazy not being able to train. You know, up in Pittsburgh, I'm able to train daily just through the university. But down here, now that everything's closed, it's weird not going and training, not being able to go punch my friends. Like, it's driving me nuts. I feel like Ricky Bobby, and I don't know what to do with my hands. Like,
I know, man.
it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. You know, so Texas is trying to open tentatively today, actually, but
supposedly they're opening today, but not gyms, or hair salons, or it's like small businesses like that, which is so strange because a restaurant can open, so you can have 50 people inside all together. You can't have 10 people in the gym. Technically, I'm a martial arts studio, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, look, nobody's coming out at first.
Mm-hmm.
If Texas right now, or everybody just said, okay, everybody can go out, nobody's coming out. They're gonna see what happens for a while first, and we're suffering in that meantime as well. You know,
it would be if we lose all the gyms, all the fighters are gonna lose their minds.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to contain crazy to these gyms, and you know, it's not fun.
Yeah.
You know, so in the meantime, like, what are you doing to keep yourself occupied?
Well, I do private lessons, you know, so I'm not open, so I do private lessons here and there, and then, man, I play the bass, so I'm really good at the bass. I got a lot better in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What is it, 4 weeks?
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't do anything, you know. I go visit my family. They live in Houston, which is like an hour and a half from here. In Houston.
Yeah.
So that's it. I don't do anything.
I feel like you learning the bass is like a testament to you being a good coach. So you're talking about like learning. I feel like as soon as you got free time, you're like, okay, new skill. Like let's get better at something.
Yeah, you know, I equate a lot of things to music. I played bass before I started fighting, and I tell my students this too. If I could have you do a 1-2, just a straight 1-2 on the bag with the proper footwork, proper everything, for an hour a day, every single day for a month, I would do it. Because you're going to be really good at that 1-2. Then we would do a different move the next month, a different move the next month. But I wouldn't have any students. It'd be boring. But that is what truly makes you good at something. Man, you know how many times that I play one song over and over and over again so I don't make a mistake on it? Hundreds, you know what I mean? So that's what makes you good at something. So our job is to try to do all these basics over and over and over again, but make it different. The same but different. Kind of like same but different. Yeah, like that.
You know, just totally random question, but who in the MMA world right now is you're looking out for going, that guy's going to be a champ? Looking at his striking, his overall game. You know, it could be a regional scene guy. It could be a guy in the UFC who's, you know, still green in the sport.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so many new people nowadays. We used to walk up to the UFC and they would go, "Hey, what's up?" and let us in. And now they'd be like, "Who the hell are you?" You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I really and truly don't know.
I know it's a deep question.
Yeah.
It's super vague. You know, for me, a guy that I've really been enjoying watching, and I'm super excited for him to make his comeback now, is Anthony Rumble Johnson. That dude has the touch of death in his right hand. And
Bro, I had my guy fought in Vegas. I think it was Amir Sadal. I'm not sure. But we had an after party, because that's what we do, at some club. And Anthony Johnson came. And back then, he was fighting at 170. And I looked at this dude and I was like, bro, how the fuck do you make 170? Because he was enormous. He was like 205, 210. I was like, how the fuck do you make 170? And he was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. He was huge, man. Huge. Yeah, he's real good.
Oh yeah. I mean, that whole Hoof gym is just exploding right now.
Where's he at?
He's now with Henry Hoof.
Really?
Yeah, because Hoof was with the Black Zillions when he was there.
Right.
And now they've opened up, I forget the name of the gym, it's like something, Combat Club. And they've got Michael Chandler, Tyrone Spong, Michael Johnson, just Anthony Johnson.
Is it all black dudes or what?
I mean, they got a few Brazilians. You know, in all the videos.
Michael Brazilians for sure.
Oh yeah. Michael Chandler looks to be the one white dude, but Michael Chandler. The Bellator 55 champ.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of somebody else.
Yeah.
Tyrone Spong, man, I love that dude. He's so good,
Man, I forget who he fought when he broke his leg.
I know it was. I watched that fight.
Yeah, was it Gopon Saki?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gopon Saki.
Yeah.
See, here's the deal. I'll tell you guys about broken legs. My friend Duke Rufus, you know Duke Rufus?
Yeah.
We had to talk about this. And here's what I want you to do. Go and look at every video of someone breaking their leg. And they all have one thing in common. They're kicking upwards. So they're not kicking this way. They're kicking upwards. And who was the guy that his leg just wrapped around the guy? Oh,
Is that Anderson Silva?
no, that was one too.
It was one prior to that, right?
One right prior to that.
Really tall black guy.
Tall,
Hill.
black, skinny guy.
I know his last name's Hill.
Hill. It was an inside leg.
Mm-hmm.
Anderson Silva's was an inside leg. The inside leg kick is supposed to go upwards. You're supposed to lift their leg up. If you look at Tyrone Spong's when he fought with Saki, he was kickboxing. So it wasn't Muay Thai, it was kickboxing. So it was here, and boom, upward kick, and he blocked it. And leg, you know? I believe that's the difference. COVID response team is here. Oh, they're here for the bees. There's a swarm of bees outside, dude.
Yeah.
Huh? I thought they were coming to get you guys. You guys need to move your chairs apart.
It might be. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a big swarm of bees out there, just like they're right outside my door.
Yeah.
It just happened.
All right. Oh, it might be. Okay. Yeah, no. So, Cole, what you got going on in Harrisburg?
Dude, not a whole lot. Things are starting to open up, like you were saying. We got golf now, so the old white people are happy. But I was creeping on Mark's page a bit on Twitter, and I saw like professional MMA aside, I think you had articles from your gym that was like why Muay Thai can improve your life, and so you like trying to pitch to like regular people to get involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I teach everyone. I don't only teach fighters. There's many reasons behind that, but everybody could do Muay Thai. The problem is people say, okay, Muay Thai, and they look it up on the internet and they see whap, and they see blood, and they go, oh, I'm not going to go get elbowed in the face. And the crazy part is you're not going to get elbowed in the face. You're not going to get punched. If you don't ever want to get punched, you don't have to, but you can learn how to do it and get in good shape without all that. Now, if you want to do that too, I can show you that too, you know? And I don't know. That's just what people think, you know? But everybody can do it. Everybody.
No, I will say, like, I've worked with kids. I used to coach boxing for young kids, and then I worked at a camp for special needs kids. And I was talking about every parent who asked me what they should do with their kid or what any suggestions I had, I said, get them into martial arts.
Yeah.
Whether they had disabilities, whether they were just, blessed to be totally fine. Just because it gives you an outlet and it's a different way to express yourself. And, it's beautiful violence.
Yeah.
And I've said it multiple times. If you can come to practice and be angry, and if you leave angry, you didn't work hard enough.
For sure.
Because, if I'm on the bag just killing myself, anything that's going to bother me afterward, I clearly need to work on because, it's serious. Yeah. But if it's just some petty issue, I'm going to work that out. Yeah. And so I feel like most fighters are way happier when they walk out than when they walk in. And, it just provides something different for everybody.
Yeah, it's exercise. I tell parents to get their kids into sports. It doesn't matter what sport it is, sports. Because it will help them in multiple ways. Like I don't want to go out and get in trouble because I want to go I'm going to do my sport. I want to be better at my sport, you know. And Muay Thai is one of them, you know, or Jiu-Jitsu, you know. Do that to where you get better at that. All sports, you know. And yeah, if you leave mad, something bad happened. Something bad must have happened.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah. No, so, you know, again, you've got the laundry list of fighters you've worked with. Which fighters were you most excited for, you know, wherever they got their big break, or what guy do you think worked the hardest to get where he's at? Because it's not easy in the sport, and we're not all just blessed with that one-punch knockout power, unfortunately. But, you know, what guy do you think put in the work every day to get where they're at now?
Well, the hardest work, look, here's the bottom line. Every fighter that's high level put in a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone put in a lot of work. So I can't say that one put in the most work, but Forrest, he's not the most naturally talented or athletic person there is, but he can outwork everybody, period. I don't care who it is, and it's his brain. It's not that he's better than anyone. It's just, and that's why he got hurt a lot too, is because this is what happens. If your body is too tired to keep going, and it's telling you to quit, and your brain says, no, I'm going to keep going, which is 100% force, then what your body does is it injures itself. Because then what? Then you have to stop. You know, so that's why, I believe, half of the job of a coach with fighters is you're watching them to see they're so tired. You want to push them, but if they're so tired, somebody's going to get hurt. You have to know when to stop. Like, okay, everybody stop. So, I mean, that whole thing was, yeah, Forrest would work harder than anyone. If somebody said, even got in there late and said, I'm going to do 10 more, like, let's go. And he would do 12 more, 14 more. He would just, every person, Randy Couture would get in there and train with us. And Randy would stop, and he was in really good shape. Randy would stop, and Forrest he would have to do 5 more, you know, just,
No, that's just separates him and the champ. I mean,
but that's how he won the UFC championship, you know? Yeah. I love it when people say Forrest sucks, because then I tell them this. Well, then that means I'm a good coach, because I brought him all the way to win the UFC championship. So, yeah, he sucks so bad. Stupid.
So, if you weren't a martial arts instructor, what would you be doing?
Oh man, I have that question in my podcast, dude. I'd probably be in jail. I mean, truthfully, I used to fight and drink, and before I started fighting 20-something years ago. I mean, from Texas, that's what we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what I would be doing. I don't have any idea. I was a welder. I did construction, and I'm older now. Doing construction outside in 100-degree heat is bad.
That's why I love martial arts, man. It just gives a home for some oddballs, you know, people who just feel like there's like literally like without it, like you're like, I don't even know. You're like prison, like there's not even a second occupational option, you know?
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I mean, I've been doing just this for so long. I don't even know. I really like tech stuff. I'm not good at it, but I really like tech stuff. I like editing. My father's an artist, so I like editing videos and art kind of stuff, doing logos and things like that. I would probably be doing something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just so with your brand, the Dirty South Muay Thai, that is the coolest logo I've seen.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, that stuff's awesome. Like,
yeah, I made those logos too. Like I had found some stuff and I put them all together. Just messing around, you know. I never did this stuff professionally, but I love it. I never even learned how to do the programs. I just bought them and then tried to figure it out.
Yeah, no, I'm like just everything you put out was awesome.
Thanks, man.
No, especially like Dirty South for people up north. You know, Houston, it's the Dirty South. Our
all
rap,
the South.
all the South. Yeah, you know, we got different kind of rap music, different kind of stuff going on here. You know, swanging, all that stuff. It's just different. You know, so what advice would you give to a guy who's just starting out in mixed martial arts or Muay Thai? and he wants to aspire to be a world champion?
I mean, find somewhere that you enjoy doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? I mean, this is the worst part about training and fighting and jiu-jitsu. I do jiu-jitsu too, and Muay Thai and all that stuff. Is in order to get better, you got to be getting your ass whipped. That's 100% true, dude. If you go into a gym and you beat everybody in the gym, you're not learning. You might learn a little bit here and there. But if you're getting beat up by people all the time, then you're learning, you know. I always train with like Vinny Magalhaes and Rafael Lovato Jr. And these guys that I roll with, dude, Robert Drysdale. And when I roll with them, I ain't winning, you know, but I get better, you know. And that's the thing is, you have to have fun doing it. Don't make it a job. If it's like, oh, I gotta go train, you don't want to do it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go train. This is fun. You know what I mean? This is fun. And when you lose, don't get discouraged on yourself, because you can't lose in the gym. You're just getting better. That's it. You're just learning. Oh, well, I should have done this and I should have done this. You know.
And, you know, I heard Kevin Ross talk about how in Thailand they don't ask you your record, they ask you how many fights.
How many fights you have. Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's awesome.
I mean, it's just if you win or lose, they raise the other guy's hand, and they're not like, oh, jumping up and down. I'm like, all right, he lost, whatever. See you later. See you next week. We'll fight again. You know? Yeah.
So what about the fight culture do you love most? And what I mean by that is, like, you know, fighters are just kind of different people normally. And normally very intense. And it can cause some conflict with some people, but other guys become best friends by sparring. So, like, what about the fight culture draws you in?
I mean, that's one of the main things is, look, somebody that you fought with, you pretty much brothers after that. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Ross is like my brother, dude, you know what I mean? And we sparred daily, you know, and we helped each other do lots of stuff. In fact, we're going live today on Instagram. Me and Kevin. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't have one of those stupid filters on. Y'all see those, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's what I like, man, is it creates a bond of friendship. I get letters probably monthly from people that say that I've helped them with their life. And I'm like, I taught you how to box. But it helped them in so many different ways, with confidence and with, you know, their wife or with somehow in their life, you know, and that's what really keeps me going.
And so, just even a question for me, I've been coaching up at the University of Pittsburgh Mixed Martial Arts Club. So we practice 4 days a week, 2 hours a day. And, you know, I've been coaching because I'm the one with the most experience. And, you know, as a coach, I've found that it's so hard to, like, just not do what you really enjoy doing most. And I'm a striker. I'm not a grappler. And so, you know, what advice would you give to someone who's getting into coaching?
Getting into coaching?
Yeah, getting in on the coaching side of things. You know, been a fighter, they're starting to move over into coaching.
My main piece of advice is you have to be open-minded about moves and things to do that you do. Like, I'm open-minded with even somebody who's second day, if they say something, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna try that, dude. You know what I mean? That's a good idea. You know what I mean? You have to be open-minded about all kinds of different things, you know? There's a lot of coaches that are so set on, no, we do it this way and that's it. I always tell everyone that the things that I'm showing you, and if your coach shows it to you differently, it's not wrong, it's just different. So they do things differently than I do. I kick differently than a lot of other people kick, you know? So the open-mindedness is a forever with martial arts. You have to be open-minded and learn. That's a lot of coaches are dead set. No, you have to.
No, that's great advice. Because I know, like, I grew up boxing with my dad as my coach, and you know, it was very much old school, hands up. You know, we move. He tried to make me move like a 156 pounder. I'm clearly not 156 pounder. And so, you know, his way was jab, 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 jab. And then I found, you know, I could drop my hands a little bit more and I was quicker, or I could, you know, do
Right
things
up
differently.
until kicks.
Oh, right up until kicks start coming. Actually, that was my my first day of kickboxing sparring. I was a boxer through and through.
Yeah.
You know, the stance was narrow.
Sideways.
Yep, very
Free leg
yep.
kicks.
Oh yeah, I ate one leg kick and immediately was like, all right, this is terrible. You know, I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd seen the UFC video game how to check kicks. I remember going, all right, well maybe if I start doing that, and then I checked something, and I was like, oh, that hurts too. I just thought that I wouldn't feel anything. You know, and shin conditioning became a big part. You know, with Cole even, I have my guy's shin condition all the time.
Cool. Hold on. Now we can start a new subject. How do you guys do this shin conditioning?
Kick the bag.
All right. I like this guy already. All
Kick
right.
the bag. Yeah, none of those rolling pins, any of that.
Dude, I did it.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
It was 25 years ago. You're stupid. You didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do any of this.
No.
I have a bag. See that blue bag at the end?
Yeah.
You can kick that one later. It's full of cut up tires. It's hard, man. And then see the pads on the metal ring posts? Kick those too, you know? If you want to condition your shins, you guys, you kick the bag, and when you get really tired, kick the bag some more. And then kick the bottom of the bag as hard as you can with nothing but shin. The bag shouldn't even wax. It should boom. So it's all shin as hard as you can, 10 times every day after training. That's it. Your shins will be.
Oh, yeah. No, I've even gone from starting with 50 kicks a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, those where I was at. I felt like I was behind the 8 ball, so I just needed to hurry up and figure it out. You know, I'm only 15, or I was only 15 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, these guys have been kicking way longer. I need to do it way more.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you walk funny for a few days.
Bro, I have pictures where my whole shin is just black. I'm just training, you know what I mean? Yeah. And now, you know, I mean, look, the thing is, it doesn't hurt less later. It still hurts. It's just that you're used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like when the first time you ever got punched in the face, you're like, no, I'm not doing this. And then later, it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's whatever. Same thing with your shins. You know, I hit my shin on something. I'm like, oh, yeah, that probably would have hurt. But I'm used to it. You know what I mean? Man.
Yeah. No, and I'd always heard, you know, you kill off the nerves. And
Yeah,
they're still there. I mean, like, it's less.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll never go away.
No.
You know, guys are finally starting to check kicks in the UFC.
You gotta block kicks.
Yeah, you got to.
Like people that are scared of. So here's how I explain it. People that are scared of shin to shin because it clucks and it hurts your shin. Well, first of all, like I said, you get used to it, and then whatever. But the thing is, I don't take any damage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, but your shin hurts. But that doesn't affect my performance. So if my shin hurts, that doesn't affect me moving, me walking, me shooting, me doing anything. It doesn't affect me. But if I get thumped here, then that affects my performance.
Mm-hmm.
So it is different. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Block. You got to block, man. Block, kick, bang. Uh-huh.
So, Cole, you got anything?
What do you just talk about right now, man?
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking about when you guys were talking about you transitioning, Jake had like that boxing stance. He came and started getting his legs beat up. So I was going to ask you, what do you think for people who are trying to do mixed martial arts? Like, do you do the individual arts and you try and integrate them, or should you be taking like a mixed martial arts approach the whole time?
That's a good question. That's why a lot of MMA guys liked to train with me. I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. I did jiu-jitsu and MMA first before I did Muay Thai. There's a lot of good Muay Thai guys in Vegas. Kong Nap Pa was out there. A lot of good guys, Master Toddy. But it's different. Your feet, the way you put your feet are different. The where you put your hips when somebody grabs you is different. It's just different. So you have to be able to mix the two. So if I fight Muay Thai, I can have my feet super close together and be here like this. But if I fight MMA, a wrestler, this guy, is going to take me down if I do that. So I believe you have to, look, this is how I tell people to do it. If you go train with a Muay Thai guy, just listen to what they say with their stance and your feet and all that stuff and adjust it accordingly to what you're doing, you know? Don't say, well, I can't do that because I do MMA. Like you're hindering your coaching, you know? just take what he shows you, get better at that, and adjust it to, okay, now I'm doing MMA. I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to adjust this, and that's it.
Definitely.
Does that make
definitely
sense?
helpful.
Yeah. No, I'm noticing that your theme is like everyone take what works, listen as much as you can, learn, and just go in, lose, and be like, okay, that, like, now adapt.
It's true. I mean, that's how you learn, right? That's absolutely how you learn.
No,
It's a beautiful mindset.
with like my own career, every time I've lost, I've always come back way better.
Yeah.
And winning, I always feel like, you don't improve as much.
It depends on the win. If it's a super hard win, then yeah, maybe you did learn. But if it was just I caught that dude, then you didn't learn anything. You just caught somebody,
No, I've been lucky enough to have a few of those. I
Me
got
too.
them, and it's been fun. But what advice would you give to someone just on the street about like the realities of fighting? Because there was a misconception that a lot of people have about the sport. They think we're all savages and guys that are just here to hurt each other, and it's a lowbrow sport.
And that's what everybody thinks. The advice that I would tell, or what I would tell people.
Yeah. Not even the advice. Just what would you tell people about fighters and the realities of the sport?
What I tell people is, first of all, when we spar and move around, we don't hit each other hard. People think that we beat the crap out of each other every day, and we don't, or else we would all be brain damaged. We learn technique and we learn a sport, and we're building up our shape and our cardio. And some people, not everybody, but some people spar, but you don't hit each other hard. If you're getting rocked in practice, you're going way too hard. But that's what most people think. They think, oh, I'm going to go into this gym and I'm going to have to fight. No, you don't. You're going to have to learn. And plus, I won't even let you spar until I feel that you're ready, which is usually about 5 or 6 months. Even if you want to on day one, no. So that's the big misconception, and that's what most people need to know. You're not going to go get the crap beat out of you. He's not.
Yeah, and I think most of the time, whenever I tell people I'm a fighter, they immediately go, "Oh, he's scary." And the thing I've noticed with fighters is they're the last people to go get into a fight.
That's normally how it works. Like if you train and you fight, you're not going to fight unless somebody starts it with you, and then sorry, I know how to fight.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan says it best. It's high-level problem solving with dire physical consequences.
Yeah, I like Joe Rogan. I actually hooked him up with his tattoo guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He wanted to get a sleeve, and I was at a UFC, and I saw him make a post or something. This was a lot of years ago. He said he wanted to get a sleeve, and I showed him this one, and he was like, "Whoa, that's badass!" So I gave him my guy's number, and then he went down. And he has 2 sleeves from him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, he's a cool dude, man. I like his show too. It's really informative.
Oh yeah, and it's different than most podcasts. It's not just one subject all the time.
Yeah.
Talking to as many different people as you can. It blows my mind.
Smart too. He's so smart.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, for sure.
That guy's got like my dream life, doing like stand-up comedy, cage fighting commentator, podcaster. Like
stand-up's hilarious too.
Oh
I went to a couple of the shows. He's good.
Oh yeah. So once this whole shutdown ends, whenever it ends, what are your plans for the guys in here and just yourself?
Man, I don't know. Like I said, this whole thing could cripple me, man. I'm in a really, really bad spot. And I made some investments right before this, which are biting me. I mean, like if this didn't happen, I'd be fine,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I hope that Michael Corley trains people out here, and he's hurting too. I talk to him all the time. We're all friends,
Mm-hmm.
And it's hurting a lot of small businesses. The bottom line to me is we're in shape. We shouldn't have to worry about it. They should let everybody out. You know what I mean? I mean, if we want to go out, we want to go out. That should be our choice. Well, what if everybody starts dying? Well, then, hey, we shouldn't have went out. Sorry. Who cares? Let us out, dude.
Yeah. It's starting to feel like jail. I mean,
It is. Man.
Yeah. Getting weird.
When they hold you against your will, it's jail. Like it's against my will. I want to do whatever I want right now. So,
just looking over at that poster up on the wall there, the listen to your parents, get good grades.
It's like my kids.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like, you know, when I was coaching kids myself, that was always number one, is listen to your parents, don't get in fights in school, get good grades.
Yeah, I have rules that my kids have to follow, and you know, they're kids. You know, we can be the most asshole, f you, this and that. No cussing in my class when I have kids. They have to follow rules. They have to show me their report cards and get good grades. It's part of it, you know. And if they don't, I throw them out of here. It's just, that's how it is. Go get your grades better and come back, you know. I mean, I'm trying to help kids. I don't really have kids that compete. I have maybe one, but I'm trying to help them in their life, you know what I mean? Make their life better and show them that if you practice something long enough and keep all the other aspects of your life good, they can do that with anything in their life.
Yeah, no, I look at martial arts as a vehicle for human development.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so many cliche life lessons in the sport, you know, just roll with the punches, get up when you get knocked down, the classic things like that.
Just don't say, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Don't say.
Oh, jeez, no.
Have you heard that one?
Yeah.
Have you heard that one?
I hate that so much. Like just every single Rocky movie, basically.
Well, if you fall down 7 times, you got to get up 7 times.
Yes. There's no, you can't get up 8 times, dude. Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cliches that do apply to us. I really hate cliches, but a lot of them, yeah, does apply to boxing, you know, and Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu, and everything. You know?
So what about your style? What do you think is the best part of your game in terms of striking? Yeah.
That's a huge question. You see, I've always been this guy, and I don't know if you guys notice this. Every one of my fighters has their own style.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some gyms, I'm not gonna name them, but there's some gyms that like, I know if I'm fighting somebody from this gym, they're gonna throw a good hard low kick. That's what they do. And they don't care if you block it, they're gonna try to go all the way through your leg. And so I'm gonna play a game plan for that. With my guys, I believe that everyone's fight style is like a personality. So I'm going to develop your fight style toward your personality of fighting, you know? I have guys that are movers, and then I have guys that don't move at all, and you just want to go follow, you know? There's a lot of things that we do have in common. We like to lay kick. Works for me and all my guys. And, but everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own personality. So you got to, I believe that's what makes people advance.
Oh,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. I feel like I've seen so many stories where people say like they're trying to be exactly like their trainer. They'll be like 0-3, and they're like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna fight like the way I feel like I should fight, and then they find success.
Yeah.
Like if you're fighting against the gym and everybody's fighting the same way, I feel like that's a problem. It's like a barber shop. If you see everyone leaving with like the barber's haircut, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to be there. You want to go somewhere else.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Fighting is just, to me, it's the best thing in the world. And, you know, it's changed my life. Like, without it, I don't know where I'd be.
A lot of people, man, a lot of people are like that.
It's a special thing. And it's also just not for everyone.
Right,
Yeah.
It isn't. But the thing is we separate those people.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that are like fighter-minded like that are going to go with other people like you over there. And then I'm going to have these people over here. They're going to get as good as those guys. They're just not going to beat each other up like those guys are. You know, so there's a separate place for them.
So, what part of training would you say is your favorite part? You know, is like
when I train, not training. That was the problem. So my favorite part of training, man, my favorite part of training is sparring. Man. I mean, that's the bottom line with everything. It's you want to do it. You know, it's the whole reason I do this is to do it. Picking bag's not fun. I mean, it was at times, but I want to learn on somebody. Oh, they did this reaction, so I'm going to do this. They did this. Or when I train with Kevin, bang, how did you do that? So I could do it too, you know? So that's how we trade stuff, you know? I spar with Artem Levin, man, you know, and like, he picked it up at the end. It was so fun. But that's how you learn, you know? Look what I did. He did this. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to try that. And then you figure out, now I got a new move. You know? That's my favorite.
Sparring for me. And then, yeah, sparring is just my favorite part too.
Yeah.
You get to hit something. That's
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
But then going as a coach, what do you think is the most important part of training? Just in terms of increasing your skills, like whether it be pad work, bag work, or just sparring. What do you think is the best way to build up fundamentals?
Like I said, the best way to build something up is to do it over and over and over and over again. To fight Muay Thai, Rob Kanan. You don't know who Kanan is? You better know Rob Kanan. Shut this podcast off right now.
No.
You don't know who he is?
I don't. Shame myself.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Rob Kanan is a Dutch kickboxer. That's like back in the day. Anyways, he came to my gym and started teaching at my gym just out of the blue. That's what he does now. He goes around the world and he just does whatever he wants. That's just Rob. That's how he is, right? Anyways, he started teaching there, and that was one of the reasons I started doing Muay Thai was Rob came. So like, where's this story going? How does it answer my question? Okay. Well, he told me the only thing you have to do every day in order to go fight is kick pads. And really, truly, like, man, when you kick pads, you want to blast them as hard as you can. You want to blast every single punch, every single kick. You want your coach to be like, yeah, he's hitting hard, you know? And then if you do 5, 6, 7 rounds of that every day, you can go fight. I have my guys do more than that, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I think the main thing is kick pads with your coach. Because he's going to sharpen you up and not just have you kick. Just kick, punch, kick, punch, kick. It's going to make you better at everything you do. You know? Yeah.
And so, you've worked, seems like, with everyone in the MMA community, Muay Thai community. Who do you think you've learned the most from? Like, I know that's a deep question again, but, like, even if it's a few guys, like, who do you think has taught you the most about just technique and skill and made you better as a fighter and a coach?
It had to be my coaches, not the fighters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brian Popejoy taught me a lot. My problem was I was hard-headed. I can do this. I can do this. And if I would have just listened a little more, I would have been way better. He's really, really good if you just sit and listen to him. And then Master Toddy, it doesn't matter what anybody says about Master Toddy. He is a great coach. He's a great coach. When he was there training us himself, we were the best we had ever been. And then coaching, again, it was an experience. I had to learn from my dad's, did I just do that really? And I learned a lot what to do and what not to do. And again, that depends on the personality. I'll give you an example. One of my guys, Samuel Mangania, is, I didn't even say his name. Samuel Mangania is, he has to be calm and relaxed, and we have to be messing around and joking in the dressing room. You know what I mean? Matt Brown, on the other hand, I don't even know if he knows that I used to do this to him. I used to piss him off right before he fought. All the time, dude. All the time. And I figured it out inside the house, inside the Ultimate Fighter, how to make him win. He has to be mad at the guy. So I would just be warming him up, and then something would happen. And I would hit him hard. And he's like, what the fuck? And he would come after me, right? Whoa! Okay, let's go fight. And I would tell him shit, like when we're walking out, I'd tell him shit, like they're going to take food out of your kid's mouth, bro. And he's just getting mad and just pissing him off all the way to the last second. We're going to go get that motherfucker and walk off. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you have to, every person's different.
Oh, yeah. No, and just even, walking out to my first boxing match when I was like 9 years old, my dad goes, he's like, this guy's the reason you suffer. He's the reason you run. Like, and he's like, now go make him pay for it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go kill him. Like, even as a little kid, and even to this day, like whenever I fight, he's always in my ear during the walkout. Just the same thing. He's the reason you suffer.
But again, it depends on the person.
Exactly.
If I do that with Sammy, he doesn't fight as well. He's nervous. You don't want to make him nervous.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all personal, and it takes experience working with that particular guy to see what works for him and what doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
What did it for you?
Man, I don't know. I would just have to be hyped up. Like, my nerves, like your first fight when your heart's and your nerves like that, it was like that all the time for me. So what I tried to do is I tried to get away from those nerves and try to be calm. And then I lost because I wasn't worried about whatever, blah, and I would get nailed, you know. So I figured out, probably way too late, that I needed to be nervous. Nerves are good. They make you sharp, they make you fast. You just need to learn how to hone those nerves into go, you know. And again, it depends on the person. I had to get a little hyped up with some music. Like, I just know I'm going to be, my heart's pumping, and I got to turn it into anger and go. You know, that was me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Cole, we were going to get him ready for his first MMA fight in May, and then, you know, this broke out, and that got canceled. So we're looking to rebook it for the fall, hopefully. And so, you know, that's definitely good advice.
Yeah.
He's a relaxed dude.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't see him get too fired up all that often. So.
Well, it depends on the person. Again, some people have to be relaxed. Kevin has to be relaxed. Kevin Ross has to be relaxed. You know, we mess around. I mean, I want to look, of course, but we mess around. And he has to be relaxed in there. When he's relaxed, he starts doing his tricky stuff, he's better. Mm-hmm. But again, it depends on the person, and that comes with fight experience. Yeah. So see what the person does well, and how they do well, and how they don't, and keep rolling with it.
Yeah, the lesson I learned about myself from football is I was kind of like you. I'm like, I got the nerves. So I feel like what I need to do is I just got to get tired. I got to be more tired than I am nervous. And then I feel like everything smooths itself out from there.
All right. Yeah. I always get my guys tired one time in the dressing room, too. I'm giving you guys my secret. You got to blow out that first win in the dressing room. These guys that only do this in the dressing room, your first win is going to be in the ring. You're never going to catch your breath again. And that's good for me, for my guys. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, that was a secret. I learned that.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I learned that not warming up hard enough, and being like, damn, I'm already feeling it a little bit. Yeah. And then being like, oh, dang, I'm going on a fight, and I already feel a little bit tired. And then, I would fight way better. Yeah. But whenever I would go in, not real sweaty, I would always gas or feel like I'm going to gas at like the end of round 2. Yeah. And, when you're sitting on that stool for the third round, you should be amped up instead of going, shit.
First win's your worst win.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So looking through your career, what have been like some of the highlights for you? Things that you're most excited about, what you take away from the sport and are proud of.
Well, I mean, I'm proud that I helped so many people. It wasn't just an effort by just me to help these people win these championships and stuff. There's other people involved. You can't just be one person. Mm-hmm. But I'm proud that I helped people accomplish their dreams. That's it. There's no one championship. I mean, when Forrest won the UFC, it was a pretty big fucking deal, But there's no one championship that's better than the other, bigger than the other to that person. Mm-hmm. So I helped that person win that championship, and that was the biggest thing in their life at that time. I think there's been a lot, man. It's fights. Mostly it's making people not believe. It's showing people that they can do something they believe they can't do. I had a guy fight this guy that tried to hide his record and all this stuff, and I got angry, and I'm like, you're gonna fight him anyway. And it was amateur, and this guy had a bunch of pro fights. You're gonna fight him anyway. We trained hard, man. And my guy won. And it was a fight. But just to show him, I don't care. The guy's a pro with 50 fights, and he's hiding them. And you have 10 and 10 amateur. My guy won. Because you can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I remember, I think it was Pat Barry talking about, anyone can win a fight on any given day. For sure. It doesn't matter. It could be Brock Lesnar versus like a 10-year-old kid. There's a tiny chance that little kid might catch him.
Yeah, that's a really small chance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, astronomical. Like, you got a better chance of winning the lottery. Yeah. No, if God were to create a warrior, he might look like Brock Lesnar. Yeah, for sure. That or Francis Ngannou. Who in the game right now in the UFC do you think is the scariest dude? Like, if your name was next to his, you'd be like, all right, this is going to be a fight.
If my name was next to his, they'd kill me. But, dude, John Jones is the GOAT, dude. I don't care. He's never lost. Dude. Mm-hmm. That's it. You can't say he's not. He never lost. He got disqualified. Oh, so what? Israel Adesanya and John Jones are going back and forth talking smack to each other.
Mhm.
Well, Israel is something too. That fight, that would be the one. Like, I think.
Who wins?
Who wins?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I got to go with John Jones. I never bet against John Jones. Never. Ever.
Have you gotten the chance to work with him at all? Or?
No. I did hang out with him a couple times. I'll tell you a funny story about John Jones. I think it was that one. It was that one. See, the UFC posters I have are the posters that my guys fought in. I have a bunch of signings too. But anyway, it was in New Jersey. I had a guy fight on the card. My guy won. And then John Jones versus Chip. Dude, so that was when his toe split. You remember that?
Yep.
You remember that, dude? So, and it was like way up here. It was open. And anyways, on the way home, I was on the bus, and Joe Silva was on the bus. He was the matchmaker for UFC, and I asked him, I said, dude, if that fight would have went to the next round, man, it would have been crazy. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, dude, Chael would be champion. And he was like, oh shit, I never even thought of that, dude. I never thought of that. I'm like, dude, if it would have went to the next round, they would have had to stop it. And Chael would be the champion right now, dude. And he was like, oh my God. Bro. Like, he didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no, that fight was wild.
It was crazy. I'll tell you what, I was out drinking that night because after my guys win, and about 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, John Jones came to the hotel with crutches. What's up, man? Like it was nothing. Just split your foot in half, and he was just like, "What's up?" Crazy, man, crazy.
No, I'm excited for that Israel Jones fight.
Did they set it up?
No, not yet.
They
Israel,
will, though.
Oh yeah.
They will.
If Israel can stay on top, which looks like he could.
But does he fight at 85?
85.
Yeah.
My only concern is John is big.
He's big.
And
But I think Israel's big too.
Israel's big too, but just the frame's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Like John and Israel kind of have the same build, except for John's got another 40 pounds on it that he cuts down to 205.
Right.
So Israel said he walks around at close to 200. John looks like he gets
bigger than 200.
John, yeah, he might be whatever you were saying on the road.
230.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to check his wrestling too, because I have no idea why Yoel Romero didn't check his wrestling. But
I don't know. I think Cole and I were actually watching that fight together, and I just remember going, "What is happening?"
I was yelling at the screen, shoot,
Yeah.
wrestle. I'm not a wrestler. Wrestle, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Doesn't make any sense.
Israel, I think, stopped 2 takedowns, but they were weird
In
setups.
5-minute rounds.
Oh, I know. Yeah. From an Olympic silver medalist. Like,
I feel like a lot of wrestlers underutilize the wrestling lately.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
that particular one, I don't get it.
well, what I had heard, other coaches and stuff talk about is that wrestlers fall in love with power punches. They want to get the job done early because wrestling's a lot harder than knocking someone out with the right hand.
Yeah, but I think I don't know the guy, but I think he may have got hit a couple times and got that. Oh, really? Oh, you want to box? We'll box if you want to box. He's
Yeah.
like, all right, yeah, that's exactly what I want.
I don't
You
get
can't
it.
fall into someone else's game, man.
No, and he definitely did. It was still a close fight. I was
Yeah.
shocked. Israel, I think Israel got popped too and was hesitant to go in. I mean,
Dude, Joe Romero's jacked, bro.
I don't know. He's one of those guys. Like, I don't understand how Anthony Johnson made 170. I don't understand how Yoel Romero makes 185.
Bro.
Like,
I don't understand how that's drugs.
I feel like the Yoel fight's got to be infuriating for you because you just want like the coach in the corner to be like takedowns. Like that's got to feel like a massive coaching error for you, right?
Bro, and you could blame the coaches, but if the coaches are telling him to do something and he doesn't do it, then it's not the coaches. Well, I told you to do this, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was a weird fight. That was a letdown for me. But the fight before it with Zhang Wei Li and Joanna Young Jay.
Oh yeah, that was a good fight.
Like at the end of that fight, I just remember going, all I don't know who won, but
because you were just so interested in the fight. Yeah, me too.
I was like, that was back and forth. I mean, I've never seen a hematoma change someone's head that way.
Bruh, that was crazy.
That was rough. I remember. No, that was a wild fight. I hope they run that back.
Yeah, they probably will. Who won that fight?
Zhang Weili.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they probably try to do it.
I would have hated to be a judge because I was so enamored with just the performance.
Well, I mean, when you're a judge, you're doing a job. You watch the fight and you score it round by round. Who won this round? Who won that round? You know, so I don't like being a judge. I ref a lot of fights, but I don't like being a judge. But yeah, you score this round. Okay, who won that round?
Yeah, no, my only issue with scoring it was there was so much that happened during like that 5 minutes that I was like, all right, who got the best of who?
But if you're sitting there and you're watching it as a judge and you know you have to score it,
you'll be more you'll be a little more objective. And you know, judging nowadays terrifies me. You know, we were talking about this with Dakota Hope, who's a guy out of war. He's 6-0 now as a pro. Just got back from Asia. He was saying that in the States, you know, it's the judging is so much different than in Asia. He was fighting there, and he was saying, you know, he was shocked that they were getting the decisions right constantly in Asia, but here they mess them up all the time. It's just weird.
Well, you know, a lot of it has to do. Oh man, I don't even want to get into the subject. Like, I got a lot of shit on the subject. But in Thailand and everywhere, some of it has to do with people thinking that they score differently.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. You know, you ask a Thai judge, hey man, how did you score that? He goes, that guy win. You know he win. That's it. He hit him more than him.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, so this is what people do here. So in Thailand, they score kicks more than elbows or punches. And then they score this more. So this means this and this means this. And then sweeps mean, no. That guy won. This guy didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know what I mean? That's what the judges told me. You know, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You're right too. You know?
Yeah.
The problem with the judges here is what the athletic, they're appointed by the athletic commission. They're not UFC judges. They're not paid by UFC. They're appointed by the athletic commission. Now the only problem I see with that is they employ people that have made hundreds of bad decisions and they don't know shit. Like, all right, I'll give you an example. Whenever Kevin fought Yamato and it was the bloody one that was at the D downtown, he lost the decision which he won 4 out of 5, I think, maybe 3 out of 5 rounds. But they saw the blood, so they gave it to Yamato, you know. But when the score came out, I was shocked, and I looked over here, and it was a 70-year-old guy with gray hair and a suit on, outside 100 degrees in Vegas, and on this side was Adelaide Burke. Okay,
yep.
So like, you're an old lady. Have you ever been elbowed? Ever? No. Do you know how it feels? No. So do you know that hurts more than this? No. Then why are you sitting there? Get somebody else. Mm-hmm. I believe that judges for MMA should be at minimum a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. I would say purple belt would be better. And refs should be too. And they should know a little striking too. You know, you got to know that, man, if I kick that dude in the neck, he's done. Mm-hmm. If I punch him, maybe not, you know, but that's my outlook. The guys should maybe have even fought a couple times, you know, like, and that's it.
Oh, I'm with you. I mean, like in a few of my fights, just even whenever they read out the decision, I'm like,
oh, I've had it go both ways. Like they raised my hand and I looked over and Brian was like, hang on, all right, I'll take it. Yeah. Or the other way too. Like, really?
Yeah. No, I dropped the guy 4 times in 3 rounds and I lost the fight.
How? It's not even possible.
Yeah. No, and he was boxing, and I go,
that's not even possible.
Exactly. No, I was like,
because in boxing, 1 down is 1 point off.
I had no idea.
Even if they only gave you a 9, they still would have had to give him like a 7.
That's why I said I immediately went to the president of the commission, and I was just like, how?
Yeah.
I don't.
What did they say?
He was like, I don't know what to tell you. He's like,
No.
Maybe we need some math training on top of the fight experience.
Yeah, I think we need to teach basic addition.
They might have just read
The wrong
blue when
Yeah.
it was really red. That one.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like I was reffing one and they said blue, and I was like raising this person in, and I looked at him, and I looked at him like this, and like, oh no, wait, we read the wrong one. I was like,
Yeah, no.
she was all happy, and then she was like, what the? And then she went sad, you know?
Yeah.
Terrible.
No, and just that swing of emotion makes it way worse.
So bad.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big problem in sports, in our sport, in Muay Thai, is bad judging. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to boxing, it's about money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's bad judging too in boxing. But boxing has been around so long, and there's so many different where they make so much money that they can control a little bit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have anything, you know, and we're just trying to build it, and it could be built if the commissions would work with us. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it could.
Absolutely. So, you know, just to get wrapping this up, you know, where can people find you? You know, how can they reach out to you on social media? You know, where can they buy your gear, help keep this place open, keep you running?
Man, I'm all out of gear. Man, you know. I sell it out pretty quick because I make pretty cool stuff. But anyways, it's hyenamuaythai.com, and then I have a podcast called Talking Shit with Beecher, and it's on YouTube. I only done a couple. I had some big names lined up, but this COVID stuff happened. I'll start up again as soon as they let us out. And then it's Mark Hyena everywhere, you know, Facebook, all of that stuff, you know. I post a lot of stuff about fights if you guys want to know, even if it's not my guys, my friends from all over the world. Info on, hey, if this fight's going down here, you can watch it here and all this stuff. And we just have a good time, you know.
Definitely, and we appreciate you opening up to us, coming on the show.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's cool.
You know, definitely cool to hang out with one of the legends.
Man.
Oh yeah.
I'm just me. I just started doing this stuff so I could fight, and then it turned into, man, I'm a better coach. So
yeah.
I'm a better coach.
Oh yeah. So thanks again,
Cool.
guys. This is another episode of the Unqualified MMA podcast. We will see you next time. Thank you, Cole. You got anything?
No, I'm good, man. Just once again, thank you so much. It's an honor to meet you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
My
All right.
pleasure.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. When you get